Welcome to CleanseATX Day 7, Affirmations and the Healing Power of the Spoken Word. I am very, very excited about this material tonight because I have been touched so deeply by conscious language and affirmations, prayer, decree, and its role in healing and awakening our body, healing our hearts, our organs, our emotional body. It's just, this is a really, really fun and exciting class for me. And we have a question already. We haven't even started.
I have a testimonial. I chose to stay one more extra day here in Austin to be for CleanseATX in order to be here for this particular program with you.
Thank you, Nancy.
After doing the workshops with Robert and
With Bob,
Stevens
yeah.
here at New Earth last summer. So I've extended my vacation this evening specifically.
Wow.
I'll return tomorrow, but I chose to be here.
So one of our CleanseATX members has chosen to stay one extra day to participate in our class tonight. So, thank you, love. Yeah. Tonight is going to be interactive. We are going to get to use our words. We are going to speak out loud with as much feeling as we can so we can feel the meaning of our words in our body and see how affirmations and how specific word patterns are changing our body and really changing our vibration in our cellular structure. Our class is going to be structured in just very, very smooth and simple way. I'm going to start with telling my story, where I started, since I was a young boy and adolescent, all the way into the healing arts and learning and healing and upgrading all the way up until now. And then I'm going to begin to take a journey through our body, starting at the mouth and then working way down to the stomach, into the pancreas and the spleen and the liver and the gallbladder, small and large intestine. And I'm going to share specific prayers, decrees, and affirmations that will strengthen, uplift, and heal our bodies relative to our organs and relative to our whole emotional body, because we are feeling beings. Everyone say out loud, first time for fun. I feel.
I feel.
I heal.
I heal.
There's a connection there. And when you can feel the meaning in your words deeply enough, you can have instantaneous manifestation in your body. And our words are powerful. Our words can be medicine when we're healing and cleansing. So we're going to have several recesses tonight because I'm going to cover a lot of material. So if you are taking notes, write slowly. Be fully present, interact with us. When I invite us to say something, stop taking notes and look at me, connect with our room and say it, because we are in essence creating a healing mastermind tonight as we speak out loud and connect with our words together. And we will literally start shifting the energy in our room as we say this out loud together, and you'll begin to feel it very powerfully by the middle of the class. At the end of our sharing tonight, we're going to ground this material through live sacred body language translations. And those of you coming up to receive a facilitation from me, know that you will be filmed. And I will be asking your permission verbally for you to receive facilitation in front of us and in front of our camera. And everything that you experience with me, all the healing and upgrade, is going to be a blessing to strengthen, uplift, and inspire others who watch this content tonight. So, know that when you come up here and you're giving me permission, that you are going to also be blessing our world with this information and your own experience of upgrading a thought or a word pattern or an emotional pattern live in front of us. So, it's when we do the live part of the class, the live facilitation, it's by volunteer basis. I do not choose people. I will have someone just come up when they're ready. And so this class tonight is really the culmination of about 12 years of learning holistic health, starting with Chinese medicine and learning how the Chinese see emotions and organs, and then learning neuroemotional technique and learning the 12 organ systems and the different organs as windows into our emotional body. And then finding Bob Stevens many years after that and remembering and discovering conscious language and sacred body language translations. So a lot of the content I'm going to share tonight comes from this book, Conscious Language by Robert Tennyson Stevens. How many in the room have heard or read of this book? Raise your hand. So we got a lot of people who have read it or heard about it. And this book, Sacred Body Language Translations, is a more in-depth book on the unspoken language of our bodies. And these are very powerful books. They're life-changing for me, and I also feel they'll be life-changing for anyone who reads them. Conscious language and pure speech is the language of our hearts, I believe. And sacred body language is really about what's returning and what's available to us to heal at all levels. So in sacred body language, we can take a symptom in the body, whatever that symptom is, ask a question that elicits an emotional response, revealing the exact cause of the symptom, whatever the symptom is. And so this is a very powerful tool that I started using at the Tree of Life in 2009 with miraculous results. And now I use it on myself and in my coaching practice every day. So these two books are reference material for what I'm going to be sharing tonight. The language of our hearts creates miracles. That's probably the most profound truth I've learned. Oh, welcome, Dee Dee. The language of our hearts creates miracles. When we can speak out loud with deep feeling and feel the meaning in our words deeply enough, we can have instantaneous manifestation. And that actually comes from a little book called I Am Adorations and Affirmations from the Ascended Master Instruction. And I read that and I was like, wow, that's cool. I'm going to read that again and then contemplate that and think about how affirmations have changed my life as I've used certain things and said them out loud with repetition, a lot, and seeing the changes in me and in my world and in my relationships and in my business. So tonight's class is on affirmations and the healing power of the spoken word and how we use our words to heal. Our words can be medicine, and our words can also cause harm depending on how we use them and how we say them. And I'll start a little bit with my story, because when I was growing up, I was raised in Texas, in Dallas, and Houston, raised on biscuits and gravy and bread, pasta, rice, sugar, and flour, and alcohol and processed foods. And I wasn't the bright, shiny being you see here right now. I was a pimply and very sick young man, and also very shy, and didn't like really being in my world. For a long part of my life, from about as long as I can remember, from age 5 until about age 21, I thought the world was a harsh place and I didn't want to be here. And that's what I made up. That was my story. And all throughout my young adulthood, all throughout adolescence, I was pimply. I was getting strep throat three times a year, upper respiratory infections. I would experience depression. All throughout high school, I avoided crowds. I got into theater and pottery, and I could just stay with my little pod of weirdos, and hang out, and feel somewhat normal, but I still thought the world was a harsh place, and I didn't want to be here. And I felt comfy, with my little high school crowd of weirdos. And then I get out of high school, and I start training under Master Potter, who was a very strong, male mentor for me, and he really helped me, develop some discipline. I started studying the martial arts and Jushinkai Aikido, and became a first-degree brown belt in the martial arts around age 23. And right around that time, I began studying Chinese medicine and working with a Chinese doctor and a chiropractor, studying holistic medicine and learning how we heal physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually. And this was around 2001 to 2004, and that's when I started to cleanse. In deeper and deeper levels was right around this time. So I went from a pimply young man to getting clearer and clearer in my skin and healthier and healthier. And yet I always knew there was something more to healing and health. And my first mentor, who opened up a whole world for me for emotional healing, was Dr. David Hoover. And he did a technique called neuro-emotional technique. And I began trading with Dr. Hoover and learning about emotional intelligence, which is our capacity to identify and comprehend what we feel. That's both conscious and subconscious. And then I started exploring emotional fitness, which is the ability for us to exercise our emotions and really become strong in how we feel. And then as I continued to work with Dr. Hoover and read books and listen to audios, a whole lot about nutrition, after emotional intelligence and emotional fitness, I began developing emotional alchemy, where I could identify, feel, and transmute emotion into love. And the reason we use affirmations is to do that, is to really perform emotional alchemy, to help us take a negative limiting pattern and raise it and transform it inside of ourselves by speaking out loud to ourselves a healing word pattern that it strengthens and uplifts our spirit, our emotional body, and our physical body, and all of our being. And so I'm still learning this right now. Napoleon Hill says, we teach best that which we endeavor to learn. We teach best what we endeavor to learn. So here I am, kind of like playing the role of teacher and talking about my experience with words as medicine. And I still use affirmations to lift my spirit, to change a limiting thought or a negative thought, or if I'm feeling down, I'll start praying and decreeing with power and conviction to just take command of myself and raise myself up to who I truly am through my words. And so everything I'm going to be sharing with you tonight, I use with as much frequency as is realistic. And while I'm driving, I'll be using affirmations. While I'm in the mirror, when I wake up, sometimes I go, I am a champion, Dr. C is funny. And I'll go into my kitchen sometimes and just, I'll start saying affirmations to my team. And it really does work. Our words are powerful. And so let's begin our journey through the body. Everyone just kind of touch your body right now. Tonight is really interactive. This is about being in your body. This is about getting out of your heads and into your hearts and feeling your words as you say them. And so I'm going to start in the mouth and talk about the upper jaw and the lower jaw, and then also connect with your body as I invite you to say things. We as humans can create words. It makes us very powerful. When we think of like the mineral kingdom and the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom, they do not create words. Humans do. And as I've contemplated conscious language and the power of the spoken word, I've contemplated what makes minerals, plants, and animals and humans distinctly different. Well, it's words. We can form a word and speak it into creation, and the word becomes flesh. By our words we shall be justified, and by our words we shall be condemned. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. There's all these scriptural quotes about the power of the word, and we as humans can create words with our mouth. Our upper jaw is, in body language, it represents our conscious self. So it's the I think, I speak part of ourselves. Our lower jaw is the subconscious, which is the I feel. And so if there's TMJ in our jaws, how many people know someone with TMJ? Raise your hand. Yeah, a lot. And when there's tension in the jaw, it's a conflict between what we think and what we feel. And so there's some kind of internal conflict in our mental and emotional world where there's either a clashing or a pulling away, a resistance. And so the question is, what do we require to bring harmony to our thoughts and feelings? And your heart will begin to speak if you really listen to that question. And in sacred body language, the question will reveal the cause of the conflict. When you ask it, like, I think, I feel, if there's tension in the jaw and it becomes chronic, TMJ, then there's dysfunction, disharmony in our thinking and feeling world, and then we get to harmonize that by surrendering our mind to our hearts and really listening. And so grinding of the teeth is common, primarily because of parasite infection. That's also the thoughts that bug us. How many people have a lot of negative internal dialogue? Well, interestingly enough, when you cleanse your body and you really cleanse deeply and profoundly, some of that negative internal dialogue will go away because it's caused from parasite infection. And the grinding of the teeth, particularly between 1 and 3 a.m., is because of the negative bugs inside of you very, very active while we sleep. So a lot of people, when they grind their teeth, that represents the thoughts that bug them. And cleansing and clearing the body, detoxifying the colon, the liver, and the blood will remove a lot of those thoughts that bug you. So you can get clear again and speak from a place of wholeness and sovereignty and being whole. Everyone say, I am whole.
I am whole.
Yeah. I am whole.
I am whole.
Yeah. Whole. Parasites is pair of sights, seeing things two ways. I am whole, and speaking from a place of unity and wholeness. Going from the mouth down into the tummy. Everybody rub your belly. Okay, so your stomach in sacred body language is about receiving. Everyone say, I receive with ease.
I receive with ease.
How many of you in here love to receive? Yeah. Yeah. Or just receive love. Yeah, receive a blessing, receive a gift. How many times have you seen someone be given something and they say, oh, no, thank you. Or, no, that's all right, don't do that. Not letting it in. Not letting the blessing fully in. Not wanting to receive. How many of you have mothers here who just love to give, and give? My mom does. She's burned out like 15 times because she's always been giving and yet not receiving. Our stomach is about receiving and utilizing our food, receiving our nourishment from our food. And in consciousness, it's about receiving the substance of life. Think about that. One of the cool things I love about body language is we have our left side and our right side. We have our divine feminine and divine masculine. We are both negative and positive, and we're unifying these two polarities. And if we're always giving, and we don't want to receive, then we burn the battery out. The battery shorts out. We get depleted. And so I receive with ease. Say it out loud.
I receive with ease.
I love receiving.
I love receiving.
Yeah. It's safe for me to receive.
It's safe for me to receive.
Yeah. Say that again. It's safe for me to receive. I can receive.
I can receive.
Yeah. I receive with ease.
I receive with ease.
I love receiving.
I love receiving.
Yeah. Feel your body, what happens. Like for me, I just relaxed a little bit. And I'm saying this out loud with you so I can feel what's happening in me as we say these words, because I feel things shifting. And does anyone feel things shifting in their body right now when you say that?
I feel tingles.
You feel tingles, yeah. What else? What else does someone feel?
Smile.
Smile. Brad smiles. Brad Love from Angel Productions is smiling. Thank you, Brad, for being here. I receive with ease has been a powerful affirmation for me because in the past, I didn't want to receive and it didn't feel safe to receive. And I'm a healer, I'm a coach, I'm a giver, and I've been giving. And fortunately, I have a really strong constitution, so I've never burned out. Yet, for me to really feel secure and safe to receive so that I'm in harmony with what I give is powerful for me. It's so powerful as one who gives service, is to also receive with ease, receive my blessings, receive support, receive money, receive new relationships, receive new opportunities, receive the essence and blessing of life. I receive with ease. I love receiving. Since I learned this affirmation, I still use it. If I find myself holding back. My mentor, Bob, says that a blessing not fully received becomes a burden. That's profound. When you think about all the blessings we've held back from ourselves, now becomes a burden until we let it in. I receive with ease. Stomach, pancreas. In Chinese medicine, they acknowledge that the pancreas and the spleen are connected. We're going to start with the pancreas. And how many people here know someone with diabetes, healing diabetes? Yeah, there's a lot of people on our planet healing diabetes right now. Fundamentally, that's just not enough sweetness in our lives. We've thought about that, diabetes, not enough sweetness. And how often when we're when we're going for sugar or sweet things, are we trying to feed our emotional body something that food can never feed? Is that amazing? That we have people reaching for sweet foods and sweet substances because they don't have enough sweetness in their life, and they're not letting that sweetness in. And then they become diabetic, and they still don't get it until they heal the sadness and the bitterness that's underneath that. We don't have an epidemic of diabetes in our country. We have an epidemic of sadness and bitterness that's transforming into sweetness and kindness to ourselves and to each other. Learning sacred body language is so profound. I mean, for me, it is so profound because you get to the exact cause right away. You know, it's not insulin resistance. It's not eating too much bread, pasta, rice, sugar, and flour. Those things are the outward manifestation. It's not having enough sweetness. It's not letting your sweetness in all the way. Maybe you feel bitter about something, and that bitterness is now stagnating the pancreas and the gallbladder, and you just get to forgive and be kind again. What I'm saying is really profound for me. And as I say it out loud, I was like, wow, this is just amazing, amazing stuff. Our spleen and pancreas work together. And our spleen, everyone touch the left side of your body right here. This is your spleen. Just kind of like massage it a little bit. Your spleen is very much involved in our cleanse right now because it's your largest lymphatic organ. And your spleen handles the filtration of the blood and the lymphatic system. It's a very, very important organ. And the spleen is about believing in yourself and loving who you truly are. And from that place, you say, I can. And you mean it. I can't, and it's hard. Weakens the spleen lymphatic system. I can, and I am. And I love who I am. And I believe in who I am. Everyone say that. I believe in who I am.
I believe in who I am.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I believe in who I am.
I believe in who I am.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love me.
I love me.
Everyone touch yourself. Notice you automatically go to your heart when you touch who you are. I think that's fascinating. Like, everyone touch yourself. We're not our heads. This is who we are. The most powerful healing force on our planet is self-love. I believe. And I remember when I listened to an audio training by Carolyn Mace on self-esteem. She says the same thing. In 20 years of doing medical intuition and seeing people die and live through healing their chakras and their emotional dysfunction, she said that the fundamental force, power that supported everyone who healed was their own capacity to love themselves. Enough to heal their condition. It all begins with self-love. And self-love and believing in yourself and saying, I can. Say it out loud. I can.
I can.
I am.
I am.
I can.
I can.
I am.
I am.
I can.
I can.
That strengthens us. It uplifts our spleen. And our whole lymphatic system starts to strengthen. It's right now, as I'm saying these words out loud, I'm feeling like my body change. It's really cool. Pardon me while I drink some juice. Everyone say, I deeply and completely
I deeply and completely
love and accept myself.
love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself
I love and accept myself
for who I am.
for who I am.
That's powerful. When you can feel the meaning in those words deeply enough, you have loved and accepted yourself for who you are as a child of God. In the name I am, that I am. I love and accept myself for who I am. That's a strong foundation to move from and start a business, heal a relationship, go and change your life, change your world. Because when you love and accept yourself for who you are, nothing can stop you. You can go forward and do anything that you put your heart to. How many here have heard of Louise Hay? How to Heal Your Life. She did a movie a few years ago. I watched it while I was working at the Tree of Life. And it's a great film, by the way. Louise Hay's film, the film about her life's work, How to Heal Your Life. And in the film, it goes through all these like well-known speakers and teachers talking about affirmations and using the spoken word. And Louise Hay had vaginal cancer. Right in the middle of her career, when she was helping people heal with affirmations, she got cancer. So she got to cleanse her body and use her own tools to heal herself. And when I found that, I was like, wow, she really walked her walk. She got to use her tools and heal herself of cancer using affirmations and nutrition. And here's this radiant 80-year-old woman in this film telling story after story of miracles, people healing with affirmations. And towards the end of the film, the interviewer asked her a very poignant question that I paid attention. She said, what is the most powerful affirmation that you've seen work for more people, the most people in your 20 years of giving people affirmations? And she says, it's this one. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. That's the one, self-love. I love myself. I love myself for who I am. And from that place, I can comes forth. And you mean it. Because you love yourself. And in life, and in my life, I have come up to, I've hit a lot of walls of I can'ts and it's hard. That doubt will creep in sometimes in your life. And it's through powerful, radical self-love and courage and confidence, believing in yourself and just saying I can, and then taking action, that you break through that wall. And you really just go for it. Because I can becomes so powerful when you take action. So your affirmations are important, and also taking action is important. Does that make sense? Like, we use our words to reprogram a limiting pattern of fear or doubt or anger or frustration or worry or some kind of pattern, yet as we uplift this pattern through our words, we get to take action. The action from the affirmation is how we bring it into our world and embody it. How we really rewire our mind and heart and feelings. The language of our hearts creates miracles. And when we act from our hearts with powerful courage and confidence, our whole universe will begin to rearrange itself from our acting, from our hearts, speaking deeply from our hearts. And sometimes you just get to go for it and fake it till you make it. Because so if you have doubt, or if you have fear, if you have low self-esteem, which shows up as weight gain, holding your body like this, slouching a lot, trying to protect your spleen because you don't feel worthy, lots of low self-esteem. Sometimes you just start using these affirmations. I love myself. I love who I am. I deeply and completely love who I am. Say it. I deeply and completely love who I am. Yeah. Now say it all together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I deeply and completely love who I am.
Feel what happens in your body when you just go for it, even if you don't believe it at first. Repetition is the mother of perfection. When you're using your words to heal yourself and to heal your family and to raise our planet, because that's what's happening. When you use repetition and you keep saying it over and over and over again, your body and your emotional body surrenders and says, I get it. You mean it. I mean it. And through repetition, you begin to transform the pattern until you become self-love in action, self-confidence in action, courage in action. And I invite you to find an affirmation and use it with repetition every day out loud, morning and night, for 40 days and 40 nights, and see what happens. I do bioopticalography, and I find it's like I tractor beam words out of people's hearts in my private sessions, and I help them discover a decree, a prayer, an affirmation from their own hearts that's going to resurrect their life. That's going to help them change their relationship to their mother and father and husband and wife. And then I say, now, you must use this tool. You must say this word out loud every day and every night for 40 days and 40 nights to experience the shift and change. Because sometimes the patterns run very deep. And through affirmations and repetition, we can achieve the perfection of our healed state. Maybe that was cool. Yeah. Our spleen is about I can. If there was ever a time in our country and our planet we needed people believing I can, now is the time to transform our economy and our culture, our governments, our society. We require people believing in themselves more than ever before and saying I can and starting a business, inventing things, changing things. I can is a big deal right now. We live in America. We are Americans. Ending in I can. When I saw that, I was like, okay, that means something. American. I can. Right at the end. We're Americans. I can. Spleen. I believe in myself. I love myself. Now let's move to the liver and the gallbladder. Touch your right side. Your liver is the largest organ in your body. And in Chinese medicine, the liver regulates the smooth flowing of qi. And the qi is in the breath and the food we eat. It's the thought and the feelings we feel. So it's the thoughts, the feelings, the food, the breath. It's the substance of life. And when we feel frustrated and angry, that stagnates the liver. Anger affects the liver negatively. Feeling and loving and forgiving allows the liver to relax. Everyone say, I feel with ease.
I feel with ease.
And I can love my feelings.
And I can love my feelings.
Yeah. So if we're feeling a negative emotion in our body, a lot of those negative emotions will sometimes lock up in the liver. And the liver is about forgiving. It's also about just allowing yourself to feel with ease, whatever you're feeling. Allowing that feeling to move through you, which also is directly related to the flow of bile in the body. Everyone say, I will.
I will.
I won't.
I won't.
I will.
I will.
I won't.
I won't.
I won't is gallbladder. That's resentment. And so our body is an amazing vehicle for our spirit. We were wired to feel and to heal at all levels. And whatever is going on emotionally, it turns into something. And if we're in a pattern of I won't, resentment, all we get to do is say I will and I love. Everyone say that. I will.
I will.
I love.
I love.
I love loving.
I love loving.
I forgive.
I forgive.
The best medicine for our liver is not necessarily like Vitamin Green or Liver Rescue. These are great products to support our liver health. The best medicine for our liver is forgiveness, kindness, patience, compassion, and tolerance. Anger is the primary emotion. Secondary to that is frustration, aggression, irritation. All flavors of anger. Resentment is the primary emotion that affects the gallbladder. Secondary to that is galled, stubborn, emotionally repressed. And all of these turn into something when we just say, I will and I love. I can love my anger. How many in here are willing to love your hate? Raise your hand. Yeah, raise your hand high, because that's what it's going to take to heal resentment. Yeah, the height at which you raise your hand is your level of enthusiasm. And that's not an easy question for me to answer, or to ask, or to answer. Is how many in here are willing to love hate or anger? Because when you feel it, if you don't fully love it, it becomes repressed. And then you store it somewhere in your body. Anger in the liver, resentment in the gallbladder. And if you can love anger and hate into compassion and forgiveness, it sets us free. I believe forgiveness resides within the heart of every individual, and it purifies and blesses all life. When I forgive myself or those who have caused me harm or done me a wrong, I'm setting myself free. When I forgive my mother and father, I set them free. When I forgive my government, my economy, I set it free to do its perfect work. Our capacity to forgive exists within our hearts. We are wired to love, and we are wired to forgive, because forgiveness is forgiving and giving and giving and giving love. Everyone say, I forgive.
I forgive.
I love forgiving.
I love forgiving.
I am forgiveness acting here.
I am forgiveness acting here.
Yeah. Feel what happens in your body when you say that. For me, I can actually feel my liver relax a little bit when I say that. And also I feel my heart soften a little bit and start to, because the natural action of my heart is love. And when we get into a pattern of I won't, that causes the liver and gallbladder to tighten a little bit. And it also causes your heart to tighten. And so I won't becomes I will, and the doorway of healing all anger is forgiveness into a loving action. We take action from love. And whatever that means for you in the situation, like if you have resentment to a former partner or to a business partner, or if you have resentment in a relationship with your friend or your mom and dad, you get to forgive and then take a loving action. That's the doorway, through forgiveness into an action, from love. And as we heal I won't into I will, and I forgive, and I take a loving action, our whole life radically changes when we do that. It's like our whole universe starts to reshape itself through forgiveness. It's really cool when you really forgive. When you can feel the meaning in the words deeply enough, you can have instantaneous manifestation. When you feel forgiveness fully in your heart of hearts, you will have instantaneous manifestation in all your relationships that you've held resentment. And you have set yourself free and you've set them free. And you also can have instantaneous healing in your liver and gallbladder. Our liver, anger transforms into compassion with love. Irritation into tolerance. Frustration into patience. Galled and stubborn transforms into being flexible. How many people know someone who's stubborn? Don't you wish they were just a little more flexible sometimes? Yeah, maybe that's what they're here to master. How many people here know someone who has resentment in their life? That I won't. And it's so deep they've forgotten about it. Yet they're kind of bitter with everyone they interact with. And vote their victory for forgiveness. We're going to learn a little bit about voting victory tonight when we do life facilitations. If anyone is angry, frustrated, irritation, stubborn, and resentful, they are here to be compassionate and patient and tolerant and kind and forgiving. Our greatest weakness shall be our greatest strength. So don't see them for who they are. See them for who they are becoming. See what's returning. And that's one of the greatest gifts I've been given by Bob from Sacred Body Language, and is to really vote people's victory. And you can imagine as a coach training these technologies, I can see a lot. And yet if I was just focusing on what was wrong, I would be depleted. So I get to focus on their greatest strength, here now. And embody that to the degree I can, and be in my experience of them compassionate, patient, loving, kind, forgiving. Resentment transforms into forgiveness with love. Forgiveness resides within our hearts, and it purifies and blesses all life. And the best time to forgive someone is when they don't deserve it. I learned that too. Yeah, because that's like, they don't deserve it. That's the I won't coming back up again. And emotions heal in octaves. So as we're using our affirmations to heal our emotional body, we think we've healed something and it comes up again. It's like, why is this coming up again? Because it's a whole nother octave of transformation and transmutation until we wipe our slate clean, so to speak. And we can do that. Our fully healed state is possible. Forgiveness happens, and it ends all conflict within ourselves and our world. And it does require a lot of repetition, and sometimes forgiving even when you think you've already done it. Just keep doing it. You know, Christ in Scripture says, forgive 70 times 7. Just keep forgiving and giving and giving and giving and see what happens. And if you feel any tension in your body at all when you're around someone, breathe and love. Start using your affirmations inside as well as outside. I do that a lot. I'll use mental affirmations when I'm around people that I feel uncomfortable around. Or if I feel tension in my body, I'll start saying my prayers and affirmations inside of myself, which can be very powerful because you then begin to rewire and control your thoughts and feelings. And then that has an effect on the people and the reality around you. So we've talked about the mouth. We've talked about stomach, pancreas, spleen, liver, gallbladder. Now let's move into the small and large intestine. Everyone say, I feel.
I feel.
I love what I feel.
I love what I feel.
Yeah. I receive.
I receive.
I breathe.
I breathe.
Yeah. I receive and I breathe with ease.
I receive and I breathe with ease.
Our small intestine, I'm just priming the pump here to get ready to go to small and large intestines. Like, let's use some words to raise our energies. Our small intestine is about utilizing what we received in life. And I've been contemplating all that I've received in the past 10 years and asking myself, have I really fully utilized that? Meaning, have I taken that training, that workshop, gotten the degree, the diploma, taken the class, and have I utilized it? And for me, utilizing what I've received means sharing it with others. And how many here have taken a training or received something and not fully utilized it in your life? Yeah, I have too. Yeah, I'm here learning this with you. So utilizing what you received, for me, means giving it and sharing it with others in a powerful way, in an uncomfortable way sometimes. And that's where your I cans come in. Because you get to be like me and go up in front of a group and talk about this stuff, or go teach a class, or go do a session, or go start a business, or go lead a group, or go be a lighthouse with what you've learned. Because our planet really requires this right now. And utilizing what you received also supports your small intestine. Stomach, small intestine are connected by the duodenum right here in the bottom of the stomach. So you'll notice that I receive, I utilize what I receive, also flows a little bit into the small intestine because the stomach and the small intestine are so connected. So the affirmations we use to support stomach and small intestine are connected. Moving into the colon. Everyone touch your colon. This is your pooper. This is your large intestine. The large intestine is about loving what you feel and letting go. Everyone say, I let go with ease.
I let go with ease.
To inhale is to receive, to exhale is to let go. When we hold our breath, we hold our feelings. Our lung and large, God bless you. So our lung and large intestine are connected. And so everyone say, I breathe, and I let go. Lung, large intestine, got it covered. I breathe, I receive the breath of life. Say it, I breathe, I receive the breath of life. Now let's make it personal. I receive the breath of my life.
I receive the breath of my life.
Yeah, and breathe. And as you breathe, take another deep breath and think inside yourself, I receive the breath of my life. Yeah, and just breathe deeply and think it silently in your head. And now exhale and let go. So our lung and large intestine are connected, and our ability to let go with ease is what helps keep our pooper flowing and working. When we have emotional holding, when we hold on to what we feel, that's when the colon begins to tighten. And this is very subconscious for many of us. Not many of us are fully conscious of what we're holding on to, or we would have already let it go. Does that make sense? And so, repeat after me, I let go with ease.
I let go with ease.
Yeah. I let go.
I let go.
Yeah. And I am fully and completely present.
I am fully and completely present.
Yeah. And breathe. These are powerful, powerful affirmations. Even if you're in an experience of conflict or emotional holding, if you just start thinking inside of yourself, even before you use the affirmation, if you start thinking, I let go with ease, it will do something in your body just by the thought. And then you actually get to let it go, whatever that is. But it's not wanting to let it go. Attached to the thought or the feeling of frustration or anger or irritation or aggression or sadness or worry or fear, as we attach to those things, it will also store somewhere in our colon, because our colon represents our entire nervous system, and our whole body is wired into our colon. So whatever we're emotionally holding on to, it will contract somewhere in the colon. So we get to, through emotional intelligence, identify, comprehend, feel it, transmute it, and let it go. Emotional intelligence, emotional fitness, and emotional alchemy. Repeat after me. I can feel my feelings.
I can feel my feelings.
I can love what I feel.
I can love what I feel.
I can heal.
I can heal.
Yeah. I feel.
I feel.
I heal.
I heal.
When you feel the meaning in your words deeply enough, you can have instantaneous manifestation. When you can love what you feel and let it go, you are free to live, to breathe, to love life, to receive new ideas and new inspirations. Emotional holding starts building walls all around us. When we hold on to what we feel, when we start repressing and repressing and holding, then we're not letting anything new in anymore, because we're holding on to all this crap, literally and emotionally. And when you start to love what you feel and let it go, all those walls dissolve and new things come into your life. It's beautiful, really it is. And we always grow in our mastery of this. It's not like we ever really fully master it, because I believe we're all here mastering mastery. Kind of a funny thought, huh? We're mastering mastery. So just when we think you've got it, you don't. Just when you think you can let it all go, something will come in your life and challenge you and test you. It's like, oh, here's another test. Here's something that I can love fully and let it go. And really let it go. And breathe and be present and let new things into my life. New opportunities, new relationships, new feelings, new experiences. Because I receive with ease. And I breathe. And I can love what I feel. And I believe in who I am. And I forgive. And I am love in action. And I let it go. That was all the organs right there. And this is all related to food and nourishment and digestion, too. You know, being able to have a meal and chew the meal and then swallow it and receive that substance and that energy in the mouth first, etherically, and then in the stomach, nutritionally, and then in the small and large intestine, and then up into the liver, and then from the liver into the bloodstream, and then back into the lymph, and then back into the colon, and then out. And our life is like that. And as we're receiving the substance of life, you know, thoughts and feelings and life experiences and relationships and circumstances, we're receiving that energy and assimilating it and then transforming it within us and letting it go. And our capacity to do that really makes life fun and joyful. When we can receive the substance of life and assimilate it and then let go of what we no longer need and grow from that experience of life. And I've contemplated this a lot, like eating is not just eating. Our affirmations are powerful, and when we're receiving our nourishment from food, we're also receiving nourishment from life. And there's so much we can be fed by. And so, are there any questions before we do a recess? Good. There's one thing I'll leave you with before I recess. Oliver Wendell Holmes said, "A mind once expanded will never contract to its original state." And this stuff for me that I'm sharing with you tonight expands me, And so, what you learn and discover tonight through conscious language, sacred body language translations, and through the life facilitations, it will expand you a little bit or a lot, and you can really never go back. You can try, but you just keep expanding. So let's do a recess.